What if you could build a business that gives you the life of freedom you deserve? What if you could find the secrets to marketing, leadership, customer service, and other aspects of business that help you exceed your goals? What if you could walk away from your business for 30 days and it never misses a beat? That's what this podcast is for, to help business leaders like you find freedom from the day-to-day grind and start spending your time doing the things you love. I'm Levi McClendon, and my co-host is Josh Taylor, and this is the Cheers to Freedom podcast.
Hey, welcome to the Cheers to Freedom podcast. I am your host, Josh Taylor, and I'm with my co-host, Levi McClendon. Levi, it looks like you had a rough Thanksgiving.
I did.
Yeah.
I did. See that right there? It doesn't honestly, it doesn't look as bad as it felt.
Yeah, I heard you got in a fight with a branch.
It wasn't a branch. It was a tree.
The story gets different every time you tell it.
It was a tree. We were doing some cleaning up in the backyard, and I got a bunch of dead trees, and we were pushing one over, and it careened off of another stump, hit me in the face, and literally almost knocked me out. I thought I was going to have to get stitches and stuff right here, but anyway, I didn't. It wasn't that bad, but it hurt.
Well, we have an exciting podcast today because this is something that you and I, we've known for a long time, but we've never really been known how to show it to people. You know, collecting phone numbers, collecting data from our customers is extremely important. Obviously, if the pandemic taught us anything, it was you've got to be able to have a way to stay in touch with your customers, to let them know about closings, let them know about promotions and all these different things. And we knew that was valuable, but we didn't know how to actually show the value of what collecting phone numbers means for a business. And so we actually are able to do that now. And so that's what we're going to talk about today. We're going to talk about why it's important not only to collect phone numbers, but how valuable every single phone number that you collect from your customers that come through your wash are. And so we're going to do that today, and I'm excited about it.
Yeah, I'm really excited as well, Josh. When we first started in the car wash space, we really didn't have a clue. We knew what we were doing as far as marketing goes, right? We know how to generate lists. We know how to have calls to action. We know how to get people to opt in. But one of the questions that constantly came up was, how do we know this is working? Or what is our ROI? Or, which I understand. And good business owners are going to ask those questions. They're going to say, what are we getting in return from the dollars that we're spending? And so over time, Josh, it's amazing. We now have over 6 million contacts, okay, people who've opted in to some funnel along the way. We have over 1,000 car wash locations, it's actually 6.5, I'm looking right now, 6.5 million records of people who've opted into a funnel. We have over 1 million records, membership records that we're now kind of following, and we have data on them. So we're really trying to mine this data, and that's a big goal of ours, is to take this data and actually make it usable. So it's not just, of course, we're still preaching the funnels and, hey, get people to opt in, and your on-site funnel, your off-site funnel, your online. But now what's really exciting, Josh, is to be able to take this back to the industry, to these owners, and say, look, every phone number that you bring into the system based off of us now looking and mining this data and seeing it is worth X amount of dollars. And to be honest, Josh, I had to rerun these numbers multiple times because I was like, wow, they're high. Every phone number is worth a lot of money. And so we wanted to be able to show that today and actually give our listeners the opportunity to go to a page that we have set up so they can actually see what the value of every phone number that they're collecting is actually what it's valued at.
And as we go through this, we need to talk about why it's important to know this, because we have a lot of customers that come to us, and obviously the car washes have a really great lead generator. People will give their phone number or their email address up for about the value of $20 to $30. And so car washes have the perfect lead generator because they're often giving away a $20, $25 car wash to collect that phone number. And so we get asked all the time, well, why is this important? Well, that car wash that you're giving away for free costs you probably on the high end around $6. And so it's important to know, am I getting a return? When I am giving away a free car wash for a phone number, am I wasting money or am I actually getting money? And what we're going to show you today is most likely the average car wash, probably above average, is making money every single time they give away a free car wash in exchange for a phone number. And you're going to show us how that's possible right here.
Yeah, absolutely. And Josh, a lot of people throw out the term out there, throw this term out and say, hey, what's a lost leader, right? We talk about a lost leader, and that is something that generates a lead that you typically lose. That's why it's called a lost leader, right? So you throw it out there in exchange for something that's going to hopefully make you money in the long run. And to be honest, man, the car wash space, what a perfect loss leader is a free car wash. And I know we preach this a lot, and people are probably tired of us talking about it. You know what? There's other ways to get people in your funnels, contests, giveaways, memberships, you name it.
Fundraisers.
But so far, fundraisers. Yeah. But so far, obviously, everyone loves free. And when you can give away a $25, $35 car wash, like Josh just said, and people are willing to give their most prized possession, which is a person's mobile phone number, that is huge. And so, hey, that's why we keep preaching it. So let's go ahead and dig into this, Josh. I'm going to share my screen. We have created a landing page. It's at opspot.com/ROI for return on investment. So it's optspot.com/ROI. And so what we want you to do is go to this page. There's going to be a form there. Of course, this is a lead generator for us. So if you're not a customer, when you fill this out,
we have to drink our own Kool-Aid.
Yeah, absolutely. So we talk a lot about lead gen, right? So here's a lead generator for us. So if you're not a customer, but you're interested in becoming a customer, or just learning more about what the value is potentially of a phone number to do this type of program, fill out the form, and it's going to take you to this landing page we're going to show you now. And if you are a customer, we still want you going here. Fill out the form. We know you're a customer. We're not going to put you into some lead drip campaign. But we just want to know who's interested and who's actually gone to this page to find out what the actual value is of every phone number coming into your funnels. And so let's dive into this, Josh. So I have this filled out already, but I do want to roll through here. And I've just used kind of an average. Let's say that you signed up for OpSpot and you rolled this out for about 6 to 12 months, or I think you ought to be able to get 3,000 opt-ins within the first, 2 to 3 months pretty easily. So I'm just using 3,000 right now opt-ins. That's kind of our average per location here. So if you were to get 3,000 people to come through your funnels, whether it's offsite, onsite, online, or offsite, and you have 3,000, on average, about 60% of those people are redeeming a coupon. Okay, and so that's why I throw in 60%. Let's say you're an existing customer, though, and you look at maybe a particular campaign, and you're like, gosh, we got 70% of people to redeem it, or we only got 40%. You can actually come here anytime you want, fill these numbers out to really see what is that return and how much is every phone number worth. And then I'm going to come down here to the percent of months, members converted. I'm sorry. This would be after they have redeemed, meaning they came to your wash, and that's the goal, is to get them into your funnel, come to your wash. Then we found that about 10% of those people who redeem end up becoming a member. Now, Josh, the interesting thing is what I've learned in this space as well is that this is not a quick close. The sales cycle is not quick. It's not like you're coming in today, signing up, getting your free wash, and then becoming a member. Okay, we're seeing on average 3 months to 4 months.
You've got to nurture that relationship. You got to get them to come back a few more times because, like we've said before, you're asking people who wash their car on average 4 times a year to start washing their car 12 to 24 times a year. And that takes time to nurture that relationship and get them to see that value. And so through our campaigns that we write, we don't immediately try to get them to be a member. We try to get them back to the wash to use your wash so that they see the value and make that a habit and say, oh, I need to become a member. So you're right. That does take some time.
You've got to date that customer before you ask them to marry you, right?
Yeah.
And so now, can you do offers? Absolutely. Can somebody be standing at the pay station and say, hey, the price you pay today, wash as much as you want the rest of the month? 100%. And we promote, we're advocates of that. I like that. I think you're going to sign some people up. Yeah, you're going to get higher attrition, but at least you're getting people to sign up. But the goal through OpSpot and some of your other programs out there is to get them into that wash, get them into that drip campaign, follow up with them, build that relationship, and get them to come back. And if you do, again, we're finding about 10% of those people to end up converting. And then we're looking at your average months a member. How long are your customers a member? And our last episode, Josh, we talked about how important it was to know your numbers, right? To know how long your average member, how many months they're a member. Because just by increasing that number a month, 2 months, 3 months does wonders to your bottom line. So we're going to throw in 12 months here. Again, if you know what that number is, change it, but I'm going to leave this at 12 months. And then your average member price, you should also be able to find this out from your point of sale system and see exactly what that number is. So I'm just going to throw in 25. These are pretty average across the board of what we find here. And then the cost to wash, I'm going to leave at $5. This ranges, we of course, I don't have any true metrics on this. This is just what, when we ask our owners, and it's usually from like 3 to 6. So I'm going to throw in 5. So notice this, when you throw in these numbers over here on the right-hand side, you're going to end up seeing, how many coupons got redeemed from this formula here, how many members converted, what that lifetime value is of your members. And then you're going to see your membership revenue minus your cost, because you're going to have cost, right? Your cost of the wash, the cost of marketing, there's, cost of chemicals, there's things that need to come into play here. And if you want to bump this up from 5 to 6 to 7, whatever, feel free to do that. I still think a $5, is probably a pretty good number for you. Is what I would use. And now you come down here and look at your profit is 45,000. And here's the big number here. This is what I like. Value of each phone number, $15 for a phone number. Okay. So gosh, that changes the game and changes the importance. I'm hoping the listeners out there that really go, wow, you're telling me every time somebody texts a keyword to a short code, it's worth $15. Yep. And the answer to that, it is.
And that's the perspective that we need to have, because the first question that we ask is, well, I'm giving away a free car wash and just to get a phone number, and no, what you're doing is you're trading a free car wash, a $5 car wash, for a $15 phone number. And so you're basically trading $5 for $15. Yep. And that's how you need to look at it when your lead generators are working, when you're doing the right things and putting the right things in place. And that's why we work hard on these campaigns that we write for our customers, is to make sure that they work and make sure that they're getting people back to the wash and ultimately converting them to memberships, because we want to see those we want your value of each phone number. We want that number to go up. And this, to me, is, the numbers that we put in there are probably a little bit on the higher end of the averages as far as the cost of the wash, and the lower end of, the opt-ins and the redemptions, because we've seen people go higher than this.
Josh, I ran one yesterday for a customer, got him on the phone, and literally we were going through his account and we were talking about Facebook, direct mail pieces. We were talking about some of the competitors in the space that are competitors of OpSpot, which is fine. I mean, the competition is good, right? It's healthy, and we're starting to see some of the competition out there. And to be honest, it doesn't matter what you're doing. Ultimately, it matters, but ultimately you have to start building your list in your database. He told me this. He said, Levi, what I've learned is build my list as big as I can build them, bottom line. And he just said that works the best. And he's got over 50,000 people in his database, Josh. I started looking at his numbers. So we plugged his numbers in right here. Guess how much every phone number is worth for this customer? Just
over $20.
$27.
Wow.
$27 for every phone number. You know why? Because he's a numbers guy. He's killed it in his funnels. He's added as many people as he can, and he's crushing it, of course, in his memberships and his months of member. So his value of every phone number is $27. Do you think he's going to pay attention to his on-site signage, his off-site signage, his Facebook marketing? Absolutely, because he knows every dime that he puts into there and every phone number coming through the system is worth $27 to him. And you think about being able to measure even Facebook, right? What's awesome about some of that, some of the analytics from Facebook, you're able to see your reach, your clicks, and now with OpSpot conversions, right? If you're using the right forms, you're seeing conversions. And guess what? You're able to calculate the cost per lead, which you ought to know your CPL, your cost per lead. And by measuring it, and all of a sudden you say, listen, every lead I get from Facebook is $2. Let's say it's a $2 per conversion, right? Let's say in this case, look, If it's worth $15 and it cost me $2, I'm still up $13. Is that a good use of my time and money? Absolutely. Right? I
Yeah.
mean, it just makes sense. It's not
Yeah.
rocket science. It's numbers.
And it's a totals number game and a total numbers game. And that's why we get so passionate about it, is because we know it works. We know it actually brings in money for your wash. And that's why we preach this over and over again. And we constantly tell people, I've had conversations with some of our customers over the last few weeks, about what they're doing to, they're struggling to grow their wash. And I'll ask them, what are your opt-in rates? And they will have been a customer for 9 months or something like that. And they've got 500 people in their opt-ins. And immediately I know what the problem is. And the problem is you are not getting people into your funnel because you don't have signs up. You're not telling people about it. I went to one of their websites, and they were not even asking for the number. They were asking for an email address, and they were sending the free washes to their email and not even using the phone number. And I was like, well, what are you paying us to do? And the average open rate for their emails is less than 30%. The average open rate for a text message is 97%. Phone numbers work. You've got to be collecting your customers' phone numbers. That's how you grow your wash. That's how you get more customers in the door. And that's how you grow your memberships.
Absolutely. And a point that we missed here, and I haven't even touched on this, if you opted in 3,000 people into your club, as you can see in this scenario, and you converted 180, there's over 2,000 people, okay, in your database now, right? I mean, there's 2,800 or so that you put into your database that our system is going to reach back out and remind them to come in. If statistics are true, and we're learning that they are true from people like Sunny's and OmniX and those who are tracking non-members, right, frequency through car washes, you're still, say you're 4 or 5 times a year that people are washing, and you now get them into your drip campaign, right? And you're bringing them in. What if you took every retail customer, now these customers that are coming through here, and you increase that to 6 to 7 to 8? What if you could bring them in 8 times per year? So we focus so much on memberships, which is awesome because it's quantifiable. It's easy to look at and say, this is our strategies building. But what if you could actually double? Seriously, I think you can. What if you could double the amount of retail single wash users into your wash? Do those numbers. And actually, I have that in another spreadsheet. That's pretty cool because that increases your bottom line significantly because your margins on your single wash users are huge. So why not get them back into your wash more often? And you touched on it a second ago, Josh. Memberships right now, people are trying to bring people in that are on average washing 4 or 5 times a year and saying, hey, sign up for unlimited. Okay, now you're asking them literally to wash 24 times a year. Okay, you're doing well, you're getting a lot of people in, but there's a lot left on the table that if we could date these people, get them in 5, 6, 7, 8, 10 times a year, all of a sudden they're coming in twice a month. When they are coming in twice a month, they are primed, right? Even at 1.5 to 2 times a month, they're primed for membership. But that takes some time because people are habitual, right? They have their habits.
Yep.
But that's why that ping, that's why those messages are so important to remind them to come back into you, number one. And number two, Josh, you're insulating yourself from what? From the competition. Because I promise you, if you are not putting people in your list, in your databases, your the guy coming in down the road, the big dog that's putting their car washes next to you a mile down the road, and that's what everyone fears right now, guess what? They're implementing these programs. So you better start building bigger, better lists and keeping people, your people, and protecting your castle. Make sense?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. The reality is memberships aren't for everybody, but that doesn't mean that you can't make money off of those people. Don't underestimate the value of a single washer.
Yeah.
They're going to, even if they come in once a month, those people are usually coming in once every 3, 4, or 5 months. So if you can get them to come in just once a month, what does that do to your bottom line?
What does that do?
And so don't underestimate the value of that, of getting those people on your list. Maybe you're never going to sell them on a membership, but you can at least get them coming more often, which is more growth for your bottom line. So, man, I love when we can show this kind of stuff because I think it helps us open our eyes to what are the things that actually work to make us money and what are the things that we're doing that maybe are a waste of money. And so hopefully those of you that are listening, you understand the value of getting people into your database. Like, make it your goal for 2023. Like, before January 1 comes, we're going to have everything in place to grow our database and make it as big as we can in 2023. That's going to be our number one priority, getting people in that database, and see what that does for your bottom line. I guarantee you, if you do this, you're going to see a big difference.
Absolutely.
Well,
be intentional. Be intentional.
Yeah.
Just like Josh's shirt says right there. I love it. It's one of my favorite sayings, my favorite quotes, my favorite movie of all time, right? Get busy living or get busy dying. Get busy adding customers to your funnels, right? You're living, you're growing, or keep doing what you're doing. Not saying you're dying, but your business is going to be dying if you're not getting busy living. So anyway, that's Andy Dufresne from, what is it, Josh? What movie?
Shawshank Redemption.
Shawshank Redemption, everybody. If you've not
Mighty
seen
Ducks.
the movie, got to go see it. Well, rent it. It's called Shawshank. What'd you say, Josh?
The Mighty Ducks.
No,
I'll put that on a t-shirt too. Get busy getting phone numbers from your funnels and follow up with them. All right, good episode. We digress. Hey, if you want to stay up to date with what's happening with HubSpot, we've got a lot of really cool stuff coming out over the next few months. You want to know when the next episode drops, all these different things. Text cheers to 411-365. Cheers to 411-365. We don't abuse that. We let you know about important things that are coming up, and we want you to be the first to know. So if you're not in on that list, make sure you get on it and go visit this. It's opspot.com/ROI. opspot.com/ROI. I'll put that down here on the screen as well.
Across the screen right now.
Yeah,
right?
It'll flash, and you can go and use this formula. And I would actually bookmark that. Keep it bookmarked on your website so that you can go in and see and look at your progress as you go through every month. Maybe take some time to go through this and say, okay, here's where we're at now. And just see where you are. This is a quick and easy formula that you can use to see those benchmarks. So great episode, Levi. Thanks for sharing that with us. And until next time.
All right, man. Cheers.
Cheers.